After I stopped vomiting from watching the pedophile propaganda film that is Poor Things, I had my palate truly cleansed last weekend by Feel Good and Wholesome. Look Mom, it's the 70s comedy The Holdovers. I didn't exist in the 70s. I know that's surprising considering my boomer level editing, but I have actually seen 70s films, and this movie tries oh so hard to look and be in the 70s. So much so that the director decided to put the movie in that fucking 1/3 of the screen missing aspect ratio from Saltburn again. I think it's time we get a discount on tickets for the proportion of missing screen, or a warning that you're going to watch something on the not as big screen.
Keep telling yourself that, darling.
There are multiple filters, grainy film filters, and an overall homage to 70s filmmaking. The Holdovers is a funny film, but in a subtle way.
I like it!
In fact, this is a subtle film in every way. Taking a much chewed over plot that doesn't break the mold in its conception, Paul Giamatti plays Paul Hunnam, a principled stickler of a teacher, single, obtuse, and dedicated only to his love of ancient history, is tasked with looking after a bunch of preppy teen students at a prestigious boarding school over Christmas. The Holdovers are the kids whose parents can't have them back home for Christmas. When one of the Holdovers' rich dads has a change of heart and comes to collect him, and then offers to take the rest of the Holdovers skiing, it is one teen, Angus Tully, played by Dominic Sessa, who gets left behind when his parents don't pick up the phone to give permission for him to join. And so Paul Hunnam, Tully, and the school's cook, Mary Lamb, played by Davine Joy Randolph, remain at the school over Christmas, and there begins this tale about three actual holdovers in their own personal lives, three very lonely individuals bonding over Christmas, and of course, each growing throughout the process. I told you it's wholesome. But my god, is this also such a relaxing film to watch. It's often the case that something as wordy and character-led with few locations and spectacles can feel like a chore, but the cast of this movie is perfectly picked. The performances so real, understated, likable that you can't not just sit and enjoy this simple tale play out to its satisfying conclusion. In fact, I would say the drama and character interplay is like music. It really is a masterful pick of a cast. The writing is so good and so nuanced. Hunnam isn't the beyond help type of school asshole we see in most of these character types. He's actually quite a likable, quirky asshole. His development is slow and doesn't overstep the pacing. Each character has their individual charm, traits, and way of seeing the world. And the changes they make and the things that bring them together happen slowly and naturally. There are some ebbs in the movie, but the movie always finds another scene, a bit of dialogue, or situation to reinstate your engagement. The chemistry of the cast is, as you are probably guessing, excellent. They really draw you in. Each flawed, lonely holdovers in their own lives, looking for someone or something to heal them. Yet, unluckily or luckily for them, they end up stuck with each other for 2 whole weeks. Hunnam and Tully are the main conflict and focus of the film, and their chemistry is excellent. Like a dad and teenage son, they squabble, bicker, and have some nice moments of camaraderie and understanding too. Again, it's not reinventing the wheel in its plot, but its execution, the scenarios, and the characters are what give this wheel a new lick of paint. Davine Randolph's character, Mary, is the third core element of this film. I talk about her separately as she is not so connected to the other two leads' development. Her story of dealing with the death of her son, who died in the military, is a separate tale, but it is heartfelt and she adds a raw grounding to the story, without which this could have just turned into a two-man farce. She is extremely likable as well. Everyone and everything in this film is just so likable and watchable. How refreshing is that? The acting, to summarize, is, as they say, pitch perfect. And as I've already said, the direction is just 70s, 70s, 70s. Which is nice, and it really encapsulates the era, but it is on the whole also just well shot generally. And really well edited. The movie flies by for the most part, yet the development of the characters somehow is actually fairly slow burn. It has some very funny moments, but this is mainly down to the perfect casting again, and the wonderful chemistry of the actors. Written smartly, and with a real understanding of how to unpeel the layers of a character, slowly, and with respect to the audience. You can't help but admit this movie just hits all the right notes. There are some scenes which perhaps could have been cut. The movie is quite long for what it is trying to be objectively.
I get it!
Is my answer to most of these overly repeated scenes. But again, the movie is very smart at hooking you right back in during these lulling moments. The first half of the film also focuses primarily on the other boys who are held over during the Christmas period. I actually like this half of the film the most, and was disappointed when the other boys left, leaving the three leads alone. However, as noted, the movie pulls you back in and says, these three are more than enough to keep it together. And it's right, they really are. Musically, there's a few nice little folk guitar tracks, which, surprisingly, aren't from the 70s.
No way!
But hell, most would sit nicely alongside a Bob Dylan playlist. It's indie wholesomeness. But there are of course also 70s tracks, because it's a 70s movie in case you forget. This movie is wonderful. It's probably really great to watch on a hangover or a rainy day. Wholesome, have I said that enough yet? Funny, engaging, with a perfect cast and performances. It's a movie to cherish. It will also leave you asking, how the hell did they give Paul Giamatti such a convincing lazy eye? A must-see. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about the film if you've seen it. Anyway, that's all from me. Thanks again. See you soon.